Welcome to Map for Life. I'm really excited to have you join us, and this is our 8th gem for the year, and I trust that you're going to enjoy it very much. The quote for this particular gem is, "Faith comes from hearing, and so does fear." Faith and fear are strengthened by belief. What we believe is a result of what we have been thinking about, which is fed by what we listen to. The more we think about something, the more we tend to hear related information. It appears that our dominant thoughts influence what we hear. Two people can listen to the same information but get completely different messages. The negative thinker seems to extract facts that support why something cannot be done, or fear, while a positive person uncovers the truth that confirms why something can be done, or faith. If the same information is able to produce two opposing results, then we can change what we hear by changing the focus of our thoughts. If negative information fuels fear and positive input strengthens our faith, then we should choose wisely what we listen to. The challenge for this week is who or what builds your faith that results in positive actions. I want you to think about that for a moment and maybe write some of these things down in your Map for Life. You will find, if you're using the Map for Life 2014, you'll find this in the section marked gems. It's important that you think about it and write some of your own thoughts. But I'd like to share a few things with you, and I trust that as we think about this concept, we understand that both fear and faith come through hearing. So the things that you and I listen to reinforce the beliefs that we have. But what's really interesting about this process is that what we are thinking about produces the things that we hear. So if I'm thinking positive thoughts, I will hear positive messages. If I'm thinking negatively, I will hear the negative things in what people say. So it's important that you and I begin to realize the real big impact that our thinking has on the way we see the world. You see, if you and I change the input, if you and I change what we're thinking about, we literally change what we hear. We change our perspective. We change the way we see the world. And by doing so, we change the way we act and what we do, and our entire outlook in life moves from being a pessimist to being an optimist. And I really challenge you to think about what you're thinking about from time to time, because if you do that, you'll be able to discover the real things that are going to provide breakthrough in your life. We receive our input through our senses, things like touch, smell, and so on. But most importantly, what you and I look at and what we listen to have an enormous impact on the way we think. We need to look at what input we are experiencing in our life. And of course, we can choose what we read. We can choose what we listen to. We can choose what we watch. And if we understand that what we are thinking about is influenced by what we are looking at, then we can immediately begin to change the way we see the world. And I'll challenge you to take a look at, in the last week, what are the things that you've been listening to, what have you been looking at, and then observe the thoughts that you've been having as a consequence of that input. If it has been good thoughts, thoughts that are positive, that are building and developing your faith, then seek out more of those things. However, if it has been producing faith or fear in your life, it is important that you begin to change the input that is producing the thoughts that you have, because the very thoughts that you have influence the way you see the world. Our next gem of 52, is going to be gem 9, and this particular gem deals with dispelling guilt. The light of confession dispels the darkest torment of guilt. And I'd like you to, if you haven't already done so, you can maybe go and subscribe for this weekly email and video presentation at map4life.com. You can also discuss this gem and receive valuable Map for Life training at a local map cafe. And by the way, if there isn't one in your area, I'd encourage you to take a look or consider starting one. Of course, you can join a map cafe via webinar, which is an online forum where we would welcome your presence. This year's theme is Breakthrough into Abundance, and you're welcome to share this link with a friend. The next gem is Gem 9, and the one that you just passed is Gem 7, and you can use the code that is in your book to search for this particular presentation on YouTube. It's been wonderful sharing with you, and I challenge you to be mapped. Make a purposeful difference. Until we chat again, have a fantastic week.